Monday. I am Tim. It's me streaming my workouts. I'm going to be streaming for the rest of the year, at least, showing my body transformation over the year. The thing that's different about this transformation for me is that I'm not using any sort of supplement. So that's no protein. There's no protein shakes, protein powder, no BCAAs, no creatine, no pre-workouts, nothing. Just purely eating all of my nutrients from food and seeing how far I can go with that. So far, the biggest thing has been it is definitely a lot more convenient to have protein supplements lying around. It's easier to get the protein in and done with. So that's a biggest difference, like so far. Um, yeah. Today we're gonna be doing biceps and abs. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So one second. All right, biceps and abs. I'm gonna start warming up. I grab my trusty 10 pounders to warm up with. That's 4.53 kilograms. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I had a great weekend. Very relaxing, very chill. Very excited for this week. I think it's going to be a really good week. I think it's going to be a good week. I'm looking forward to Thursday. On Thursday, I'm going to be skydiving, which I've done once before. Pretty excited about it. My little brother wants to go. He's never gone and asked me to go with him. So it's pretty exciting. I do feel like it's not as scary as you think it would be. This is not as scary for me when you actually like jump out. It's kind of it looks like you're looking at a picture and not something very scary when you jump out of an airplane. I definitely get more concerned about when I've jumped off of like big rocks at the river or lakes. So at least when you jump off, like when you jump out of an airplane, like once your parachute opens, it's all pretty chill. And then as long as you land right, not a big deal. But when you jump off of a rock into like water, there's a lot more to worry about. How you hit the water, did you clear all the other rocks that are underneath? That was at 20 pounds, 9.07 kilograms. Going to be going down to 40 pounds, 18.14 kilograms. Let me switch up my dumbbells real fast. I say it is surprisingly cold this weekend. We had like a really warm week. We got to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, let me see, do this again, 20 degrees Celsius. 24 degrees Celsius. Did I do that right? 78. All right. All right, 40 pounds. All right, that's the 40 pounds, 18.14 kilograms. TV reset. All right. Oh, man. 9. That's an improvement over last week. I'm trying really hard to stick with only doing good form. Trying not to trip over into bad form. So I've been calling it when I get to when I start to sway more. But so the last few weeks I've been able to do one set of 10 and then going down to sets of 8. I felt pretty good with that last one of doing one more of 9. So hopefully I can go back to increasing weight in a couple of weeks. No, it's gonna take more than that. I think the biggest problem I had is just getting excited and jumping into 40 pounds. I should have taken a 5-pound like step instead, but it's okay. I think sometimes that's the hard part about working out is not getting ahead of yourself. At least for me, that's gonna be the hard part. Give me a second. I'm gonna jump back into it. All right. It's 5. So we're able to do at 40 pounds, 18.14 kilograms, one set of 10, one set of 9, set of 8, one set of 5. And that's better than last week. Now we're gonna go down to 35 pounds, 15.87 kilograms. Kadu Kadu von Grap or Grap says, "Hey, I was watching your YouTube videos yesterday. Oh, cool. Thank you." How's your Monday going? Is it Kadu or Kadu? All right, we're gonna do the 35 pounds, 15.87 kilograms. I think you're the first person to have crossed platforms on my channel to do YouTube and Twitch. 1 second. He says, "What's up? Not much. Oh, just knocking out Monday. My do biceps and abs on Monday. So right now, working my way down the ladder. Did do the 40 pounds, 18.14 kilograms. But now I'm moving down to 35, 15.87 kilograms. I don't know if you are on pounds or kilograms, but I noticed that I have viewers from outside of the US, so I try to say kilograms as well for clarification. Yeah. Did you have a good weekend? I do. Perhaps says I learned too much with your videos. Oh. Well, that's cool. I'm glad to hopefully help. Hopefully, you found something helpful in them. Everything I do is pretty basic, so hopefully that helps. I don't get into anything that's like too over the top or crazy, that's complicated. So the nice thing is if you like what I do, if you just get an adjustable set of dumbbells, there's nothing that you see me do that you can't do. Pretty simple stuff. Do you work out yourself? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I could do. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate the support. I had a fun weekend. We took the kids to Chuck E. Cheese. It was a lot of fun. Still like Chuck E. Cheese better when I was a kid. Weekend was good. We had a lot of games. It was a lot of fun. All right, that was just 8. So far, I did with the 35, 3 sets of 10, 1 set of 8. I'm gonna do one more set, 35s. One of the things doing this weekend, I realized I have to work with my eldest child on not so much self confidence, but to teaching them to feel like they still have worth when we compliment their younger sibling. It's weird, but I notice the more I compliment the other one starts to get sad, and it doesn't take much. If one of them's doing something like, "Oh, good job," and they're not doing, the eldest isn't doing something, they can get upset. I've noticed, and it's like, well, you know, it doesn't have to be that way. You shouldn't be upset just because your sibling is getting compliments. But one thing to say, but I think so. I'm trying to do is teach them to give themselves a sort of positive affirmation. We'll see how it goes. It's like so many tricky things with kids, and it's a lot of work. You gotta. It's like the easy thing of like feeding them, keeping them clean, keeping them healthy on a physical side, mentally, like you're teaching them stuff, learning to read and stuff, but there's like the emotional side that like you have to really start building up a lot. And that's like it's harder. But the easy thing to do would be just to give them compliments, which is what I do, but they just don't like it when I'm giving their sibling compliments. I need them to learn how to give themselves kind of positive feedback when they're feeling left out. All right, 6. I'm going to go down to 30 pounds, 13.68 kilograms. No, just did I did 6, so 3 sets of 10, 1 set of 8, 1 set of 6, and now going down to 30 pounds, 2.6 kilograms. And when I was thinking about having a second kid, it made me, there was a point where I was like sad because I realized that of course there were going to be times that my eldest was going to be sad because they got all of my attention beforehand. And when you have two, you can't, obviously the attention is going to go down. And it's kind of sad for me. And it's something that was like really hard. It still is hard trying to give that equal amount of attention and make one of them not feel left out. And since there's like a skill level difference between the two, it takes a lot of work to find things that will equally engage both of them at the same time and they'll both have fun with. Thankfully, they're really into wrestling and wrestling with each other and me, so that's my moment to shine. Edu says, I'm enjoying seeing you achieve your goal. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been fun. Streaming workouts has been an interesting experience. What's also fun is finding other people too that are also, just going for different goals and at different points and working on it. One of the things I like to do, especially on YouTube, is find people that are trying to make a change and then just trying to encourage them in their change as well. Especially like when you can tell like they put on weight and they feel dejected and sad about it. So even as they get out there and it's giving them that encouragement. Been been excited. This week is gonna be should be sunny and nice again. Really get outside for some nice long runs. Very excited about that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Love running outside in the winter. Like getting, there's only so much I like to be on a treadmill. And it gets very boring by the end of winter to be on that thing. Hopefully today I'll be able to get out for a nice hike with my kids. I like doing trails, especially like dirt trails with rocks and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Teaches them to be a little bit more coordinated so they don't trip and fall on their faces. They got to pay attention more to what they're doing. Especially when we're going downhill. When we go downhill, there's that always that temptation to run as fast as you can downhill. And you have to like teach them like, hey, like you run as fast as you can, you will fall down hard. You'll start running faster than your legs can keep up. I learned that the hard way multiple times. Ate a lot of dirt when I was a kid from just falling and crashing. Audio is low. I probably talk louder. I can talk louder. Oh. Is that better? Talking louder? We're doing been doing bike riding and teaching them to ride their bikes is a lot scarier than teaching them how to walk and run. And I'm hoping they have better common sense than I did when it comes to riding bikes, because I crashed my bike all the time. I was in the era of where we didn't really wear helmets. I was like the last generation of not wearing helmets. When I was a little bit older is when they made the law that you had to wear a bike helmet if you were a kid. But we never wore helmets when I was really little. And I gave myself like 2 concussions from riding bikes. One just crashing it and really hard and smacking my head on the cement, and another one was from smashing in the back of a car. I hit the back of this car so hard that my front tire blew. It was a lot of fun. We'd been riding around the area where we lived, the block, and gone around like so many times. So the last time I went around, someone had parked their car on the corner, their truck, and I just wasn't paying attention or expecting it to be there. So I went around the corner so fast, and it was too hard to correct, and just smashed into it. That was knocked myself out. That was a fun one. So I'm really hoping my kids don't do that, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stop them. At least they'll be wearing helmets. All right, so that's it with biceps. I'm gonna go now to doing some quick ab work. Gotta do some crunches. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It says kind of on ground. What do you mean? All right. We're gonna start out with 50 crunches with no weight. Do it. Thank you, Karavanga. I I wanted to do it. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna add in 20 pounds, which is 9.07 kilograms. The reason for adding the weight is you can get more out of less. So the way I heard it, you can do 1,000 crunches, or you can incorporate weight and do considerably less. They were saying that doing crunches without weight is just like, if you're doing biceps curls with almost no weight, you would get, toned biceps, or you get some bicep work done, but of course you use weight on your biceps. So what they're saying is use weight on your crunches as well, and then you can do less, do more, just like when you're training any other muscle group. And that made a lot of sense to me, because the last thing I want to do is be doing 1,000 crunches. So adding in the 20 pounds, I'm going to be doing, goal is 4 sets of 25. So let's do this. I want to start putting more of an emphasis on doing abs as the rest of the year goes on. Shadowbound grab says in the ball, isn't the width of the crunch greater? I'm not sure what you mean by in the ball. What ball do you mean, like curled up, or? I don't know what that means. In the ball. Sorry. Oh, with the gray ball? I don't know. I haven't really used it a lot. My wife bought that, and I just never really got into using it. Look it up and see. I I don't know. Like I said, I never used it, so I should probably look it up. It'd be silly not to. I'll find out. I think my translator don't translate correctly. Where what language do you speak? Well, translators can be tricky. I think they're a lot better. Isn't the crunch extender greater? Yeah, no, I understand. I don't know if it's greater. Um, Thinking about it, it probably is that you could go back further. Um, Probably start using it. Just never really used it, but I could. Thanks for thanks for bringing it up. It's a very good point. It's very silly to have a piece of exercise equipment that could you know, do me good, and I'm not using it. So I just didn't really think about it. When I was living in China, when I was like younger, we had to do all of our translating. If you wanted to translate something, you had to, look it up in a small pocket dictionary. And even then, it wasn't always accurate. Sorry about my wrong translate. No, hey, I appreciate, I appreciate that you are watching and however you have to communicate. I appreciate it. No problem. I was saying like traveling, um, when you're using a dictionary back in the day, you still get a lot wrong. Like how somebody thought something should be said, especially regionally in China, because like language differs so much by region there. So if somebody wrote the dictionary for, from a person's perspective in Beijing, is very different from someone's perspective in the deep south of China. So you might say something, and even though it's like speaking British English to English that you learn in California to English that you learn in Canada, there's subtle differences that can really throw off your translation of what you're trying to say. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you trying. One of the frustrating things about like where I live in California is when you go to school, you're supposed to take a language, and a lot of people take Spanish. And what's frustrating is when you learn Spanish in school, you aren't learning like Spanish that they speak in Mexico. For some reason, they still primarily teach only Spanish that you speak in Spain. And so when you go to speak Spanish out on the streets, you sound ridiculous because you don't, it's very obvious that you learned Spanish from someone from Spain's perspective. And people laugh at you. You need to learn Portuguese. Probably learn some Portuguese. I can't imagine that it's terribly difficult. Obviously, there's a lot of crossover between Portuguese and Spanish, so that would make it easier. Yeah. Yeah, so far, out of all the languages I've had to learn, which is only like two main languages I've learned, Spanish and Chinese. And Chinese was definitely a lot more difficult than Spanish. All right, I'm gonna do one more set with the 25 or with 20 pounds, the 9.07 kilograms. Radovan Grab says, I think I wrote something wrong. It's okay. Automod blocks. Yeah, I don't know what the Automod is set for. And you see. Oh, that's weird. Hold on. No, you didn't. I had to look at it. I didn't see that it was up there. It when you said Chinese is insane, the Automod said that that's racist or could be racist. Oh, I didn't notice that it was there. That's I didn't know it did that. That's interesting. Chinese is insane. It's a very hard. It's just different because they use tones. So the tone of a word changes what the word means. So you have like ma, 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 ma. That's like four different words. Ma, 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 ma. And if you say it wrong, you can completely change what you're saying. right. Okay. Well, that is it for today. Thank you for coming by, Von Grop, and the rest of you. I appreciate it. Thanks for using the translator. It's I appreciate you taking the time to use the translator and do that. It's really nice of you. Thank you again. I will be back tomorrow at should be on by 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Knocking out shoulders tomorrow. So thanks for coming by, and God bless you.